can remain our fucking playful selves.
There's got to be nothing more, how do I say this? Nothing more traumatic to be a older person who has a disdain for the opposite gender, right? Like, you know, or younger too. It's disgusting younger, but especially older because you've lived life a little bit. So you've got to see people, you've got to travel, right? Like, and if you get into a position where you have a disdain, remembering the time I faked my own wedding and had a professional photo shoot so he would reach out? What? No. No.
I want to talk about a very cruel thing about modern female nature. This is the #1 thing that has destroyed the traditional dating and relationship dynamic, making most men frustrated and misogynistic. In fact, I believe that this is the primary reason why the number of men going Mgtow is increasing on a daily basis. Let me demonstrate this with actual research. It's known as the Pavlov dog's experiment. Basically, when a bell was rung, they alternated between beating the dog and feeding it. I know it was a cruel experiment, but look what happened. The dogs went into neurosis, and the majority of them just broke down and lost their minds. In a nutshell, that's what modern women do with men. They send ambiguous signals of interest, and when a man approaches, he's praised for his confidence and initiative, but also shamed for being a creep. It is what makes men resentful of women. It's a cruel double standard that women are open about, and they do it without shame. They openly joke about it on Twitter, and any man they don't like can also be labeled as a creep. Such rumors spread like wildfire, and many people's lives have been ruined as a result of such false accusations. This kind of double nature is ingrained in women's personalities. They rely on it, are unaware of it, refuse to accept it, and yet it exists. Let's start with the most contentious issue. You'll see all kinds of women out there shaming short men and openly declaring that they prefer tall men. So far, there's nothing wrong with that. If she wants a taller man, I can't blame her. I'd also want hot girls, so that's fine. It gets out of hand when she starts blaming men for being short and shaming short men, telling men they aren't manly if they aren't over 5'10". No one calls women out on this. No one tells a woman that she is being unfair by holding such high standards. Many men have begun to respond to this question by saying, "I prefer a woman who weighs in this range," and all hell breaks loose. They even coined the term fat shaming to describe it. Men responding with a simple insult like that hurt them so much that they launched an entire campaign around it. It's ironic that women will almost always jump on trends, and corporations capitalize on that. So now we have women who look like whales and women who can barely walk and fit into clothes modeling. It's almost fascist in a way, because by teaching us how to think, they're forcing the standard of beauty on us, forcing us to like something that goes completely against our nature. Do you notice a double standard here? They blamed men for imposing their harsh standards on the world, making themselves the victim. Simply stop eating so much and you'll be fitter. It's something you can control. I'm telling you, if men could control their height, very few men would be short because men take action, whereas women take it personally and complain about it. That's why I said above that their double standards are almost unconscious. They're unaware of it. These double standards of treating high-value men differently ensured that society could reproduce only with men who had proven their worth in the modern world. Women are also led by their emotions. She is intimidated in the same way when an average guy approaches her as she is when a good-looking guy approaches her. But if the guy is insanely valuable and desirable, her emotions will take over her system. She will simply act differently because she wants to date that man. If the guy is below average, not only will her emotions not interfere, but she will develop an even larger ego. She will enjoy the attention and then insult the man. This happens all the time in women's clubs. Women's inflated egos have developed without any internal inspection or self-critique, and they continue to act in this manner without feeling any guilt. The harsh reality is that men will always chase women like the dogs in the research. You can't change that, but you can avoid being one of them. You should exit the game and pursue them in a different environment, in a place where you have power. That is the smart move. You shouldn't try to game her in a club where 10 other guys are already vying for her attention. Instead, stop chasing women altogether. Approaching women is one thing, but chasing women destroys your manhood by putting yourself in a weaker position and inflating her ego. If you don't pay attention to her, she'll go insane, and she'll seek out the man who is solely concerned with himself and his purpose. Don't forget to hit the like button to help spread the word about this video. Thank you for taking your daily dose of red pills, and remember that a red pill a day keeps bad poker hands away. So have a good rest of your day and cheers.